In this video, we're going to download and run the scripts that will set up our database and our tables with sample data for us to use within the course. On our page where we went to go and sign up for the Application Express download, our Oracle SQL database installation information and database SQL files page, the bottom you're going to see a link that says Oracle SQL scripts to create database and tables. Go ahead and go in there and download this file. Once you've downloaded the file, it's a zip file, go ahead and unzip it and you'll see all of our scripts. For this semester, we're going to go ahead and install the Colonial database. But you may need to install one of the other databases depending on your particular course. Go ahead and open. You'll notice that there's 2 SQL files for each of the databases. Go ahead and open this in something like Ultra Edit or Notepad++. And so you know, this particular SQL file will create the tables and all the data we need in it. The other file is so we can drop those tables. So if you want to get rid of what you've done and start over, you can use this particular script to do that. But for the most part, we're just going to be using the install script. So let's go ahead and flip back over to our Apex. Here's my Apex. And I'm going to go ahead and log in. And here is my workbench. So now to get started, we need to get into the right place. And as you can see at the top, at least for this version, we want to click the SQL Workshop. And from here, we can now see the object browser, the SQL commands, SQL scripts, utilities, and RESTful services. We're going to utilize the SQL scripts. So now that we're here in our SQL scripts area, we can go ahead and create our first script. Now, because we already have the script created for us, we don't need to create one. We're going to actually do an upload. So go ahead and click your upload button and make sure you choose the right file. For us, we're doing the Oracle Colonial. Double click on that. We don't need to give it a script name. It'll go ahead and take the file name. And Unicode UTF-8 is the correct character set. Go ahead and click upload. And now you'll see your new script here in this window. With this in the window, let's go ahead and click run to actually make it run and execute this script within our Oracle system. As you can see, it's going to come up and say, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Because we are about to run a script. And scripts can alter and usually do alter your tables and data. So you want to make sure that you are running the right script. We're going to go ahead and click Run Now. Once we've done that, we should see a results that tells us all the things that it did. And we should see that it created some tables, as well as inserted some values into these tables. And in fact, I have 152 statements processed, with 152 being successful. The fact that I don't have any errors is a good sign. Now we can go back to our SQL scripts, and we can still see our SQL script is still there. And in fact, the results, 1, is because we've run it 1 time. Now, just for the sake of showing you, we can also upload the other script, which is the drop script. And again, we don't need to give it a name, and the file character set's already correct. We'll go ahead and upload it. And again, now that it's there, I can run this, which means I would drop all of the work that I just did. In which case I would have to then rerun my Colonial script again to reinstall all those tables. I'm not going to run the uninstall or the drop right now because it's just not needed. Now, how can we verify that our script was ran correctly and that we have some data that we can play with. Well, one quick way to do that is let's go over and issue a couple of basic commands. So we're going to go back to our workshops and we're going to go to the SQL commands. And in here, we can go ahead and type a new SQL command and execute it against the database. Let's go ahead and use one of the Oracle commands known as describe. And let's describe our guide table. Now that we've typed that, let's go ahead and click run. And now down below, we can see that the table guide has these columns. And since it's pulling this from the database, we know that the table now exists. But let's just go ahead and make sure. And let's go ahead and do one easy select statement. We're going to do select star from guide. And let's go ahead and execute that by clicking run. And there is a sample of our data. Alright, so now that we've ran our SQL scripts, we've done a describe on some of the data tables, and we've also done a couple of select stars to make sure that we have data, we're all set for the semester. Thanks!